Hello and welcome to another update video about Ethereum. Yeah, I'm sorry, we can't really talk too much about new things because the thing is we're just messing around here in this sideways correction. That is often what gives me a hint that we are still in some kind of a fourth wave, and I think we still are. I mean, maybe with yesterday's low, the fourth wave here in yellow might have been completed. Yeah, it's possible we had 3 waves down. Okay, so maybe this is the case. Remember yesterday in the video we talked about possibly this fourth wave was complete, yeah, the smaller degree, when we hit 1630 on Friday. Maybe we moved up in a 5th wave to complete the 3rd of the higher degree. And maybe we moved down yesterday in a 3-wave move to complete this 4th, even though it was very shallow, but a 4th wave is sometimes shallow, or actually oftentimes shallow, and a couple of 4th waves generate usually a sideways movement. So, you know, it all fits together. It's still not a high confidence count. If you're thinking, you know, why is he saying maybe so often? It's because micro counting, right? I mean, we are trying to apply here the rules of Elliott Wave and the guidelines, but bear in mind we're on the 1-hour chart. This is, the lower you go with the wave count, the less charts typically adhere to the rules of market structure. Now, the 1-hour chart is perfectly fine, yeah, and also smaller time frames are fine, but it still means that the counts are less stable, they are more fragile, and you need to be flexible to change the count. Because if I have, for example, on the daily chart, a couple of scenarios, bear in mind, yeah, just imagine, which is the case, right? On the daily chart, we have a couple of scenarios. Then we have on the monthly chart, a couple of scenarios. Maybe here on the 4-hour, we've got a couple, and on the 1-hour as well, yeah. And imagine that for each of the scenarios that we have, for example, on the daily or the 4-hour chart, we've got a couple or 2 or 3 here on the hourly chart. That really increases the number of possible scenarios that we have here. And to be honest, I'm not showing you all the ones that are possible here because it would just confuse you. And it doesn't make any sense, because really what you need to know is that if we drop below the 1630 level, or let's even go down here to the support area, to the lower boundary line, which is 1620. If we drop below that, then we are most likely going to retest here the area of last week's Monday's lows, okay? And if we drop below that, then we are looking at possibly a drop into the $1,200 region, roughly. But as long as we're holding it, we can still focus on higher. Yeah? And someone asked in the last video's comment section, what happened to my primary expectation that we still make one more high? Well, nothing. I mean, this hasn't changed, and I didn't say it has changed. And actually, I said it's still my expectation. So you need to listen to all words in these videos. It's important. Yeah, sometimes the subtleties can give you clues. Yeah, every word is typically important. Very careful with my language. That you know, not to hype people too much, and also to make people understand that markets are always an exercise. Analyzing markets is always an exercise about probabilities. It is never certainties. That's why there is no exact science. Yeah, if you could apply the rules of market structure to these markets and you would always get the same outcome, then it would be scientific, more scientific, but it's not. It's not exact science, but it's still, to a degree, is, yeah, but it's always an exercise in probabilities. So it's this key level there at 1620, 1630 that still needs to hold. Hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea of the roadmap here. And if we take out that, yeah, well, we need to take out the last highs here around 1720, 1730 to indicate that we can finally push once more at least into that $1,800 region. That's still the view. And so far we're making higher lows here. I mean, to be honest, this could still become a large triangle. I mean, all of these possibilities are there, right? Just in case someone is interested. For example, this is still becoming, as it seems, a larger contracting triangle. We looked at a triangle option before, last Friday. It seemed to have broken out of a smaller triangle, but these can always morph into larger triangles. I do say that very often because it's too early to label something as a triangle when you only have 2 waves or so. And that's what makes triangles so difficult to count and to trade. Yeah, because it could easily be that this was an A wave of an Elliott wave triangle, this was a B wave of an Elliott wave triangle, maybe this was the C wave, maybe we're just putting in the D wave, maybe we're getting an E wave afterwards. The whole point here is that whatever it is, if it's a double zigzag, double flat, if it's not a double zigzag, well, this could be, but either way, you know, there are I think 13 types of corrective patterns in Elliott Wave, 13 types, and they have more subcategories. Now, if you, by the way, fib number, isn't it? 13. If you have knowledge that this is a corrective pattern still, most likely, because we have no sign that this is already impulsive to the upside, then it means be careful. Just be careful. Be on the lookout for headwinds, okay? Don't be too aggressive. And that's where we are, you know, maybe creating here another bullish pennant. But the thing is, this support area is relevant. The 1620, 1630 pivot is very important. And if we drop below that, then we are most likely going to retest this area here. Yeah, and if we do that, then I will give you a good view of the micro count. At least then we have clarity. And then we can look at maybe scaling in here again. Or if that area is broken as well, then we will most likely go into the longer time frame support area for a larger wave 2 that comes after Ethereum completed a larger wave 1 since the November lows. And this would be a great long-term accumulation area, similar to the one that we had in this area. Yeah, we talked about that back then, around that $1,200 region, where also I loaded up quite a bit. It was a long-term accumulation area here, this whole period. Actually here, yeah, this was one, and then this was one, and now we're gonna get into this one at some point. Okay, and that's my update about Ethereum. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.